Hi ho everybody, Meredith's Microgreens and Gardening here, and we are going to start some sprouts today. I have nothing going right now because of the camping trip we just got back from, and so I'm just gonna walk you through how easy this is to get sprouts going and a few of the different varieties of sprouts that I like to start. I actually have 5 of these big huge sprouting jars. These are the monster size ones from Now Real Foods, and they have these stainless steel lids that I really like, and they're nice and spacious as opposed to the regular like ball type jars that a lot of people use. So I recommend getting something kind of on the big side because if you're doing something like an alfalfa mix, you want to give those a little bit of extra room to grow. Even in this one, when I just do two tablespoons of an alfalfa mix, this is just, they get a little compacted there at the end, and you kind of have to yank them out. So you need that. You're going to need some different measures, right? So I'm going to use a half cup measure, a quarter cup measure, and a tablespoon measure for different kinds of sprouts. And and how much you want to do a lot of the time is going to depend on how much you think you can eat, because sprouts aren't something you really want to save. You basically get them ready to go, and then you just pop them in your salad or on your sandwich, and you are good to go. I'm also going to do some sprouts for some hummus. Those sprouts are going to need to be sprouted and then cooked, and I'll talk about that in a separate video when I do my hummus recipe. But I have some garbanzo beans here, so you can see. Yep. So garbanzo beans, non-GMO, project verified, right? So got these off of Amazon. I'll post the link in case you're interested in getting these, but they were a pretty good buy, 5 pounds in a 5-pound bag. And I also have a big humongous bucket of peas here, and I'll just kind of hold those up for you. You can see the peas. And I'm going to take a half a cup of those. I'm going to take a half a cup of the peas, pour those in, and I'm going to take a half a cup of the garbanzo beans and pour them into the exact same container. I just need to get these in the bag here. Right, so I've got another half a cup here. And we will just drop those in. And then basically I'm just going to fill this up, water to about halfway, give them plenty of room to expand, and pop the lid on and let them soak until tonight. And that's the first time I'll drain them. And when I drain them, I'll just turn them over, let them drain out, maybe 20 seconds, give them a good rinse, let them drain again, and then I will just rinse them every morning and every night until I feel like they've sprouted enough, and that's pretty much all there is. So then I pop them on the stove to cook them for about 40-45 minutes, and just at a simmering temperature, and then they're good to go in my hummus, right? All right, so another one that I'm gonna do today is this Handy Pantry bean salad mix. Handy Pantry is one of True Leaf Market's brands. They've got a whole bunch of brands, and so I really like this bean mix. It's pretty good. I only do a quarter cup of this at a time, but let me see if I can turn that towards you. You can kind of see what that looks like in there. And so this is a mix of, what what's it got in there? Bean salad. It just doesn't tell you what it's in there. But I know there's some radish in here. There's some mung bean and there's some lentil. And I think maybe one other thing. But I like this mix. It's got a little bit of spiciness from the radish. And I'm just going to take a 1/4 cup of that, because I just divide this when it's done between 2 salads, one for me and one for my wife. Ever since this COVID thing, my wife's been telecommuting, and so one of the nice things about that is I can make her some lunch. And so once again, I'm just gonna pour that in there and fill it up with, you know, maybe a 1/4 of the way, because this isn't as much beans. And pop the lid on, and I will do the same thing. Tonight I will drain it, rinse it again, and then I'll rinse it again every night and morning, and that will go just fine. All right, and then I'm gonna start some alfalfa mix. And this is very similar to what you would see in like alfalfa sprouts if you bought them at the store. But this also has some things mixed in with it to give it a little bit of extra kick. So the ingredients are alfalfa, clover, cabbage, and radish seed. Okay, radish seed is a big one that's added to a lot of both sprouting and microgreen mixes, right? Because it gives you that nice radish kick out of it. But I'm just going to take 2 tablespoons of that. So I've got my handy little tablespoon here, and we're going to do one more. And now at the beginning of this one, it's going to be the most floaty of the seeds, right? So I make sure that when I get these soaking, I'm going to make sure that I sort of swirl it around and make sure that all of them have dropped underneath the water and that they're getting completely soaked, right? And then once again, it's just going to be the same thing. I'm just going to pour off the water tonight, and then I'm only going to fill these ones up about a 1/4 of the way. But as they grow, these literally are just going to start filling up the whole jar. And about halfway through, I'm going to start leaving it on its side and giving it a shake in this direction to sort of loosen them up so that they have some growing room. But this is going to fill up, this little tiny 2 tablespoons of seeds is going to fill up this whole jar with sprouts. And these probably aren't my absolute favorite, but lots of people like them, and they do make it a good addition on top of lettuce or something that has a little bit of body to it. I like them mixed with my sunflower sprouts. And some people like them on wraps and in sandwiches. So however you use them, I grow them. I've got it. This is probably my second that I've been through. This is a different company, this Life Sprouts here. I just picked this up at my local Good Earth, and but you can get similar things online. Okay, the last one I'm going to do today is this zesty sprouting mix from Now Real Food. And they're the same people who actually made the jars that I use. And once again, this is just 2 tablespoons, and it has a very similar life cycle to the Alpha Plus mix. It's just different mix, different brand. What's different about this one is it's got clover, fenugreek, and radish seeds. So we haven't got any alfalfa in this one. And I actually really like the smell of the fenugreek. It's like the main ingredient for curry. Lots of different kinds of curries is ground fenugreek, right? And it sprouts really well. And I'm getting low on this bag, so I'm having a hard time getting out full tablespoons here. But you can kind of see what that looks like. Let me get behind here and maybe it'll, yeah. Anyway, I'll get off camera, then it'll focus, right? Anyway, so that's what it looks like. But, and then once again, I'm just gonna fill it up, about a quarter of the way, let it sprout. I do want to say about this one is I actually really like this one as a microgreen, probably even better than I like it as a sprouting thing. It grows really well in microgreen trays, and so I really like this mix. I don't know if you can get it online, but it's basically, like I said, it's 61% clover, 31% fenugreek seeds, and 8% radish seeds. So you could make this mix yourself if you wanted to, out of individual sprouting seeds. But it's good. It's a good one. And like I just said, pop the lid on, make sure that everything, shake it around a little bit at first, and make sure all the seeds get soaked and don't just float on the top with this. And that's about it. So I'm gonna show some progress on these. So this is basically part one. I'm not gonna take you over to the, I think you can imagine me going over to the sink and pouring some water on these, so I'm not gonna show you that part of it. But like you can see, it's just easy. You stick it in a jar, you drain it morning and night, and you just basically eyeball it and keep an eye on it, and when it's ready to go, it becomes either a salad, a wrap, or a sandwich, or in my case, with that one mix, it also can become a hummus. And so that's it for now. If you've got any questions about anything, please post in the comments, or if there's anything else that you'd like to see me cover, you can put that there in the comments as well. Till the next time, I hope you have a wonderful day, and see you later.